the most important question that you have to ask to your patient when you're doing a chemical peeling is, hello, I am Dr. Acevedo and welcome to Learn with Dr. A. And today I'm going to talk to you about the phototypes. Maybe you think that is something like a photograph, but no. Phototypes is how your skin reacts with the light. So, the most important question that you have to ask to your patient is, how do you tan? If you tan, because we have 6 phototypes and they are very different. If we start from number 1, is that patient that is so pale, red hair, like for example, Ed Sheeran. If you see Ed Sheeran, he has red hair, blue eyes, he's so pale. So that patient doesn't tan, always burn. But if you see a picture of, for example, Oprah Winfrey, she's a phototype 6. So we have these 2 extremes, very white, very pale, and this patient that is a dark phototype. So those skins react very, very different. And that's the key point of how you're going to do a chemical peeling or a laser. So that's the tipping point. If you're going to have several adverse events, or if you're going to have a shiny, glowing skin. So we have this from 1 to 6. We have other phototypes that I'm going to explain to you later, but I want to focus first in this phototype. So the phototype 1, it's a patient that you can burn their skin. You can apply lasers, CO2 lasers, radiofrequency microneedling, chemical peels, very strong chemical peelings, and your patient probably is going to heal very fast and very well. But that patient gets red a lot, as my cup here. So if your patient is going to be red, you have to ask to your patient, are you willing to be red, very red, for 2 weeks? You have to ask that. And if you see Oprah Winfrey, you cannot put your Oprah Winfrey with this redness, because if you see that a phototype like Oprah is red, you're going to burn and you're going to have a PIH. What is that? Post Inflammatory Hiperpigmentation. So if you remember, for example, I live in the Caribbean, in Mayority Island, and here it's very common that you eat fish with lemon, okay, or whatever with lemon. So if that lemon goes in your hand, for example, you're going to have a burn and you're going to have a hyperpigmentation or a dark stain there. So if you remember, if you ever had that hyperpigmentation, you remember that most of the time that hyperpigmentation fades by itself. So in the case of the very dark phototypes, a patient like Oprah Winfrey, again, if that patient gets irritation with, for example, chemical peelings, laser, or a very strong or very hot radiofrequency microneedling, that patient is going to turn red, and that redness, please pay attention on this, is going to change to a post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. And the problem is that if that patient that is very dark, that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, if you don't treat it, you're going to have that hyperpigmentation forever. And most of the years that are passing by, that hyperpigmentation is going to stay more and more and more and more. So we have these 2 extremes that probably you think, oh, they're the most hardest patients to treat. But no, they are the easiest, because you know that the darkest patient is going to irritate very easily, and you have to avoid that irritation, and you know that this patient is going to irritate, but it's going to be fine. So that 2 patients are very easily. So if I want to resume these extreme phototypes 1 and 6, patient number 1, you can apply, for example, chemical peelings with acid like glycolic, niacinamide. Even you can do TCA, a very strong TCA. You can do phenol, and the patient is going to be very well. In patients with phototype number 6, you have to do, yes, you can do glycolic, but very soft. You can do TCA, but, localized. But you cannot do a phenol or you cannot do these very strong chemical peelings. And today I am going to finish this this first class of Learn with Dr. A with this. So the extremes are very easy to treat, but the patients that are in the middle are not as easy as you think. So the second episode, I'm going to talk about that. So we are going to go deeper in the phototypes and about the phototype from 2 to 5. Okay, bye bye. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, please give me a like, and please let me know what do you want to learn, because the purpose of this channel is for you. I want you to learn, even if you are a medical doctor, esthetician, cosmetologist, nurse practitioner, or even if you are a normal patient that only want to learn because you love to learn. So see you later. Bye bye.